I don't think it's talked about enough, the grief that comes with failure. Not just feeling disappointed, but truly that gut-wrenching grief around the loss that could have been and having to let go of that hope. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know how to hold on to that hope, but also how to let go of that dream. Hey y'all, welcome back to Brighten My Life, where we turn messes into messages and where we help each other to rise stronger from the things that tried to break us. Because we are freaking baddies like that. This is day 3 on our Freedom from Failure series, and today we're talking about something that most people don't even realize that they're carrying, and that is grief. Grief around failure. Because when something that you hoped for doesn't work out, whether it's a pursuit, a relationship, a dream of any kind, you don't just feel disappointment around it, you truly mourn that thing. And most of the time that grief really goes unspoken. Today I really want to honor that, I want to name it, and I want to talk about how to move through it without losing yourself along the way. Failure isn't just frustrating, it's like truly a loss. When you're pouring your heart into something and it doesn't work out, it's more than just a failed plan. It's a lost version of your future, a broken vision of what could have been. It's a part of your identity that's suddenly gone. You've imagined your life and what it might look like and how it might feel, and you've hypothetically placed yourself in this version of your life. You've imagined yourself there. And now suddenly that version, that hope of a future is gone. And when that's taken from you, sometimes it really hits you hard and you have to grieve that. Even if it's not a person or a human, you are grieving a potential of a life. And you're allowed to grieve that those things didn't happen. The efforts that you put in didn't pay off, and all that love that you poured into it was never returned. That you had to let go of a dream even though your heart wasn't ready to say goodbye to it. Having to let go of something that you really wanted is a real and valid loss, and it deserves to be felt and not just dismissed and brushed away. I've had to grieve a lot of things the last few years and acknowledge that I needed to grieve a lot of things. There's a version of a family that I imagined that I really wanted to hold on to. Friendships and family members that kind of faded away when I came out, dreams that didn't grow when I had prayed for them. And for a long time, I really didn't give myself permission to grieve any of these things. Partly because I felt dramatic, but also because I felt like I had made the choices that led to those things. So I felt like I didn't have a right to mourn them. And I don't think that people around me fully understood how much pain it was and how much I was carrying. But eventually I had to learn that you can't heal from something if you're not willing to let yourself feel it. And you can't move on from something if you're denying it and just silently letting it be a passenger in your life. The first time that I finally let myself admit that I was grieving it and acknowledge it, something just broke open in my life. I stopped fighting it. I stopped pretending that I was fine, and I really gave myself that space to feel it. Actual healing started, and it was really liberating and really beautiful, even though it was really painful. Emotional healing isn't linear, and it's not supposed to be. Grief isn't some checklist, and you don't get to cry once and then move on from it. Unfortunately, that really sucks. I wish that I could tell you otherwise. Often grief will come in waves. Right when you think that you're good and you think that you've healed and moved on, there'll be a memory, a moment in time, and you'll be right back in it again. And that's normal. It's human. You're not doing it wrong. Grief is just stored up love for something that has nowhere to go, and it needs to be felt. So you have to give it space. You have to hold it softly. You have to give it time and compassion and acknowledge it. And you have to give it the light of day that it really wants before it's ready to leave you. You are absolutely allowed to move forward. Letting go does not mean that it didn't matter to you. It actually means that you are choosing yourself, choosing your future. You're choosing to have peace in your life over having perfection. You're choosing to heal over holding on to something that's no longer serving you. And here's the most powerful thing about grief. Grief is just proof that you had hope and love, that you showed up and that you cared enough to be deeply affected by the loss of something. And that doesn't make you weak in any way. It actually shows how much bravery and how much depth you have. And the best way to honor that loss is really to make space for it to be felt and acknowledged and loved. And then when you're ready, to let it go and make room for the next thing. You are allowed to grieve what didn't work out and still believe in what's coming next at the same time. But holding on to something that no longer fits you or serves you for longer than is necessary is only going to keep you stuck. So once you fully felt it and you fully mourned it, take a deep breath, let it go, and make space for what's coming next in your life, because it's going to be huge. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments what you're learning to release and what you've been able to name that you've been holding on to, that you're reclaiming your power from. Tomorrow is day 4 in our series, and we're going to be talking about something just as important, and that's forgiving yourself. Because a lot of times when we have failed at something, we start to write this story around it where we tell ourselves that we should have done something differently, and we start to hold a grudge against ourselves. So meet me back here for that. You really don't want to miss it. As always, I'm so glad that you are here. I love you guys dearly. Bye.